Welcome to episode 24 of the Young Adults Guide to Planet Earth, the podcast where we try to figure out life through good conversation. I'm one of your hosts, Clayton Hamrick, and joining me, we have Sid Warren. What's it going? How, Sid?
Well, man, I'm happier than a pig in the mud.
You already even listened to what I said. You just had that prepared.
That's what I have to do now, Clayton. I've adapted to this.
I was trying to throw you off, but
well,
it didn't work.
No.
You're getting there. That's like that.
There.
That's what you need to do is just not listen to what I say and just have something prepared.
There you go.
We also
ready,
have Hunter Bumgardner.
Yeah, man, I'm happier than a bird flying in the sky.
There we go. We should coordinate every week and just have like maybe I say the
thought
first
that
half.
2 seconds.
Well,
bring it.
I say the first half. You say the second.
Okay,
half.
you go next. Go. Just come up with something.
Next week.
Okay.
And I'm as happy as a butterfly on a flower. took me a second to get there.
Yep.
What are we talking about today? We're talking about
Nanny McPhee. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Nanny McPhee.
Yeah. Bee stinging. I can't even say her name. Nanny McPhee.
Let's move forward from these.
I don't
what
know
do you call these
sayings? I don't know. This week we're talking about. I don't even know how to phrase this. Life essentials. We're talking about essentials, like
physical and conceptual.
Because it's like things you can have that are essential to living a good life, and then like I guess ideals and concepts you can have.
Like happiness or time.
Happiness is essential to life. One thing that's essential to life is commenting on our YouTube.
Engaging with the content that you love. Letting them know that you exist. Because I see people listening to our podcast, and I don't think it's all us.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain someone who's commented before, who I won't mention his name, and it's whatever if he comments. But if you're not that certain someone...
Why are we hating on our loyalist fan?
Because it's become a meme at this point. He texted me about it the other day.
What did he say?
He was like, I'm on to you guys or something, and he said, does not replying to my comments apply to text messages too, and I didn't text him back.
Pretty savage.
So
from both ends.
So now he's going to listen to the podcast, and
we're going to scare off our only fan.
He's just going to stop listening.
Yeah.
What were we saying?
We're talking about life essentials.
Oh, but I want to promote some our socials.
Oh, yeah.
So like, go on Twitter, go on Instagram, go on the things and comment, like it.
Leave us a rating on our podcasting apps if you're there.
Yeah, if you're
that helps.
Especially on Apple Podcast, leaving us a 5-star rating would be a good thing.
Yeah, if you leave a 5-star rating and you don't feel like commenting, then that 5-star rating will bring more people in who will comment for you, so you don't have to feel bad about not commenting.
And then you'll want to comment because you want to engage with those people.
Exactly. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. So I was actually gonna make a transition into the quote of the week, but then I decided to plug our social media.
How about the transition is that huge book sitting right in front of you?
I have a book sitting in front of me, and it's called, The Quotationary. So if you've been listening for a while, or if this is your first time, I don't know, we do a quote of the week every week. And I just happened to find this book in my sister's room. It's called The Quotationary. Basically, it's like a dictionary of quotes. And it's like you choose a topic, and then there's quotes on that certain... It's actually kind of a cool book, so... This kind of goes with what we're talking about today. I mean... One of the essentials in life, I would say, is food. So, this is a quote from Frederick Buechner.
Buckner.
Buckner?
I don't know.
Buckner? Buccaneers?
Anyways, this is a quote by him. Man does not live by bread alone, but he also does not live long without it.
Word.
Which is, I like that, you know? You gotta have bread to live, and I think by bread he means, like, sustenance via food.
Getting that bread, that bread money.
Well, what else do we need in life other than food?
Money.
We are saying essentials, so it's something like that you have to have.
Yeah, it's like, I can't say that my computer isn't essential necessarily. I think I could at this point, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I actually wrote down computer and, like, set up to my personal, like, I have my files and, like, having a big hard drive. I feel like it's becoming essential to my life to keep track of pictures, memories.
Yeah. But there are certain things like that aren't essential to, like, living a good, fulfilling life. And that also really depends on what you're doing in life.
Yeah.
Some people don't even have computers.
Yeah, like a lot of essentials wouldn't even be essentials if we were just mountain men. We wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I feel like to us, there are things that are essentials
so
most people don't need.
Let's get to the root of it.
Axe would be essential for a mountain man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
so like
axe is an essential to us.
What is something... You just go ahead with something that you've got, because you're probably more prepared than either of us.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this, and then explain it. But the Bible, and to me, that's essential. But I think what we're trying to get at is that everybody has their own essentials. So, like, for somebody that, like is a mountain man, it's essential to have an axe. But for us, a phone I would consider this essential.
Yeah.
So take all this with a grain of salt and like get some ideas from what we're talking about. And then reflect, like, what are your essentials? And the thing I've been learning a lot, and my grandma's always tried to ingrain this in me, and my dad too, is that if something's essential to your life, like my phone, invest in it.
Yeah.
Don't have like 50-year-old phone that like you have to struggle to use. Like, spend a couple of dollars, and because that just makes you, if you're using it every day and it's essential to you, then it just makes your life easier.
Let's hit on that reflection point real quick, because I think that's part of the reason we're having this conversation is sometimes you need to sit down and reflect on what is essential in your life, because a lot of times things that aren't essential in our lives can really cause a lot of clutter.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, what's an example of that, of something that's not essential and it just kind of gets in the way?
Like our free time, like watching TV.
Netflix.
Like I think we could be like, I deserve this. This is my essential to relax until work tomorrow.
Yeah. So like actually hammering down what are essentials in your life is relieving and stress relieving in a way, because then okay, these are the things that I can't budge on.
Yeah.
But these things that aren't necessarily essential, I can budge on them a little bit. Like the whole, Marie Kondo, the tidy up lady, the seen any of her stuff.
Mm-mm.
So like she has a Netflix show and she's written a couple books about like clutter and tidying up in the house, and she basically says with any item, go pick it up and just ask yourself, does this item bring you joy? And if it doesn't bring you joy, then, I mean, for her, it's like get rid of it, because it's more of like being a minimalist and getting rid of anything that you don't really need. But that kind of goes along with essentialism in that, like, pick up an item, pick up your cell phone, look at it and say, is this essential to my everyday life? And if not, I'm not saying get rid of your cell phone, but just having that knowledge kind of helps you
prioritize
when you're interacting with it.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah. Prioritize and things like that.
That's a great example. Is I was going back to the phone thing. This is a 16 gigabyte model.
Yeah.
Don't ever buy a 16 gigabyte phone in 2019.
Yeah.
Because every time I try to use an app, I have to download it, and it undownloads all my other apps because there's not enough space on here.
Yeah.
And I get rid of pictures, and a month later it goes right back to this. So yesterday, I bought a new phone. It's a new used phone, and it has 256 gigabytes. Nice. And I went overkill because that's important to me. Like, I need to have pictures. I want to have a bunch of apps so I can use my phone as a multimedia, like, workhorse type thing. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I invested in that, and I think that's important. It took so much stress off me, and it actually, like, helped me in other areas of my life. Yeah. It made me happier. It made me less stressed. I mean, I haven't got it yet, so I haven't applied it, but I know when, like, getting rid of this thing, I've wanted to crack this in half so many times. Getting rid of this thing is going to, like, make me happy,
Yeah, just buy an Android that has expandable storage, then you could buy...
I have to have FaceTime. And iMessage. Or Apple has me in their trap, unfortunately.
But I think it makes a good point of, like, okay, you've realized my phone is essential because I do business with my phone. I save memories and photos on my phone. Like, I communicate with, you communicate with your girlfriend or whatever.
Fiance. I have to say that for her.
Yeah. So you've realized your phone is essential. So then the next step is to, like, how do you improve upon that? So for you, it was buying a phone with more storage because this is the thing you use on a daily basis and it's essential to your day-to-day.
Yeah.
So things like when you find out that something is essential in life, like Sid was saying, invest in it, do a little more, put a little more effort into it.
Yeah.
So is that the first one you kind of had on your list, was a phone?
Well, Bible's first, and then phone
Bible
was next. But
so we should probably back up to the Bible thing.
Yes. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say some stuff about that.
And the Bible isn't. That's actually wrong. Like, I would say my life essential is faith or my relationship with God.
Yeah.
The Bible is more of a tool that enables that.
Yeah. What were you gonna say,
That's
Hunter?
essential for faith. If you think about it that way.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
And it also builds character, and it's a guide more than anything to like how to deal with things in life.
Yeah. Like if you're on a road trip, something that's essential is a GPS or a road map. And, you know, some people have viewed the Bible in that way. That it's a roadmap. And it's not I don't like viewing it that way necessarily, because that kind of implies
It degrades it?
Yeah, it implies that you can open the Bible and get the answer to every question, which is not true. You have to interact with it, and you have to have conversations with God and really figure it out. But on some level, the Bible is kind of like a roadmap. So, you know, if you're on a trip in a state you've never been in, you need that. So I feel like you need the Bible, or at least something that's some guiding principle, some type of faith in your life in order to guide you.
You know, a Bible's actually more like a travel guide, because it has like the highlights of where you should go, and like tips and tricks.
It doesn't necessarily like point you in the direction.
Yeah.
It just says, this is a really cool thing, you should go try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For me, it's like a mythic book. Like, I don't know. For me, my experience with the Bible is like, there's like things that you don't know it's there until you dig for them.
Yeah.
Like things that like, all right, so there's the type of person that like, you know, they read the Bible because they go to church. And then there's the other person that doesn't go to church and reads the Bible occasionally. Then there's the guy that reads the Bible like 5 different times. But like, I feel like I'm the kind of person that like reads it and then like understands it, but also like knows the deeper meaning behind. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I heard this really cool thing the other day. So I listened to Game of Thrones podcast when Game of Thrones is in season, and they were talking about like, it was at the end of the podcast, they were about to sign off. They're like, we just want to remind you guys that even though Game of Thrones is almost over, like the show's almost over, we're still going to do podcasts, because they do book podcasts too. And they were like, people were saying like, what are you guys going to talk about whenever the show's over? What are you guys going to talk about whenever you've went through all the book content? And they're like, we could go for like 20 more years talking about this book. And they're like, one of the guys said, the Bible's been around for thousands of years and people are still discussing it.
Yeah.
Like people still find new things and come up and like, that's the crazy thing to me.
Yeah.
Is that we're reading a piece of text that was written thousands of years ago and we're still driving new
and the
things
fact
from it.
that we would consider it a life essential, like
That's pretty incredible.
Speaks a lot about it.
Yeah. So I think the Bible, when it comes to life essential, is kind of metaphorical in a way. Like for us, it is the Bible, but for many, it could just be some guiding principles or a system of beliefs that kind of points you in the right direction.
Yeah.
We're Christians, so we use the Bible, but you know.
Yeah. So my grandma always gave me a thing, or always told me something. She said it was the key to happiness, and it was, I think this is relevant. So something to do it with, or excuse me, someone to do it with, and something to look forward to. So like, I think that's pretty basic, but it like makes a lot of sense, you know. I'm like happiness being being the life essential, and then like all these things being how to do it.
The whole looking forward to it thing, like that's always been something like, if let's use Avengers as an example. If the Avengers is coming out this weekend, that's what is dictating to a certain degree, dictating my happiness for the week leading up to that, because like that's something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
And then once that passes, sometimes I have this thought like, all right, crap, what do I look forward to now? It's like when you binge watch a show and you get to that last season, you finish it, it's like, what now? Like you feel lost until you find that next thing to look forward to, or until you find that next show to binge.
Yeah.
So like I love that, having something to look forward to, I think is essential to life, because it keeps you going in a forward direction. Yeah. It keeps you progressing. So that's really cool.
I think it takes a little bit of effort to do that too, but it's worth it. Like making time to plan some vacations or something, which actually brings me to another one. I'm going to finish my list in like 5 minutes, but like making time, that's in this life essential. Yeah. Like finding it somewhere so you can, you know, improve on, develop relationships with family and friends, take time for yourself, and like work on your hobbies and all ultimately all leads to happiness and like your faith and who you are as a person.
Yeah. So learning how to manage time is a big part of that. Like, if you're looking for an essential life lesson to go out and find the answer to, like, how do I manage my time, and how do I do it properly?
And see, there's so many levels to this, because I say time as a life essential, but time has tons of life essentials like a planner, time management skills, and those skills might take classes, which would be an essential to getting the skills. And like, there's just so many levels that would probably be valuable to break down, but we probably won't. So we're only doing an hour, but like, that's why reflecting on these things and figuring out just what it is that you can start doing practically on a day-to-day basis to like make these things, these essentials in your life more relevant, more powerful, impacting on your life, because that's the point of an essential.
I mean, just once you figure out the things in life that are most important to you, it's so much easier to live your life.
Yeah.
Because you know what things you have to provide the most focus to.
Yeah.
And what things you can just kind of brush under the rug sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't really prepare a list, but I've just been sitting here thinking about it, and I want to get a little more abstract, a little less profound, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Like, so these are things that I think are specifically essential to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought about this because when I think about what's essential in my life, I think about what do I use every day? What do I use on a daily basis? So I thought about the Bluetooth receiver in my car.
Yeah.
If I didn't have
For
a way, if I didn't have a way in my car to play things from I hate the radio.
Yeah.
Radio's garbage. I mean, whatever.
No, I feel you on that.
I don't listen to music, so that's the thing. But so if I didn't have a way to somehow stream my podcasts or my audiobooks to my car audio, I don't know if I would be able to drive. And that's the thing. I love driving. I could drive for hours, and I don't get tired of it because I've got the entertainment. So that being said, also something essential in my life is like podcasts and audiobooks and like these things that provide value and provide like a learning experience while I'm driving or while I'm mowing the grass or while I'm doing something that like working out or something. Like those are essential to my life because I've got this really grand idea that I want to learn something new every day. And without podcasts and because some days you just don't have time. But if you're driving to work every morning and you have 10 minutes, then you do have time to listen to a podcast or something. So
yeah,
I think those are essential to my life. And like who I am, like my personality comes out of the podcasts I listen to and the audiobooks and everything like that. So
this is a much bigger topic than I thought about, because even your car is a life essential.
Yeah,
and like
car is pretty essential.
And my wallet.
And it's funny too, because like you say car, to a lot of people, car wouldn't be essential. Like if you live in New York, you don't have to have a car. Some people in most big cities, you can Uber and find other public
transportation.
Yeah. I guess transportation is pretty essential. Unless you work from home. I mean, there you go. Like, there's another... Like, so these life essentials, like... I mean, Sid kind of prefaced this at the beginning. Like, it is kind of dependent on who you are and what your situation is. But I think just the idea of figuring out what your life essentials are is the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, like, for those people who live in a big city, they have to make a decision of whether or not they want to get a car. And so that's they've got to reflect, like, is that an essential to my life?
Yeah. You know, something interesting I just thought about is, like, I feel like the purpose behind any company that sells something is to provide, like, an essential to somebody. Mm. So, like, a cat food might be an essential to a cat lover, whereas somebody might never even buy cat food ever in their life.
Yeah.
That's completely, like, unrelated, but I just thought that was interesting, being, like, a business major.
I mean, that's, like, marketing. Is like, this product, you need it. It's, like, you can't live without it.
Yeah.
And even as far as cat food, it's like that's how they have to go in and sit around the writer's table and say, how do we sell this? Mm-hmm. It's like that's on the basis of everything, is saying this is essential. If you own a cat, you must buy our cat food.
Yeah. I guess the only things that wouldn't be essential would be like luxury items like Gucci or something. But then again, those to the right people are essential because of what it shows provide. Status.
Yeah.
If they're around a bunch of coworkers, they need to like show off. I don't know. Maybe that's not me, so I can't relate.
Yeah.
But
then reflecting on that a little bit, it's essential to them for social status. But if they sat down and actually thought about it, it's not essential.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to have that social status. They don't have to have the nicest, greatest things.
I think we can tighten and loosen essential. The word essential as much as we wanted.
Definitely.
What
we
is
can argue
essential
it
for our
way.
happiness, though?
Well, see, that's
go
the
back
thing.
to
To
that.
some people, they've gotten to a point in their lives where they're only happy if they have Gucci, because what?
That's just funny. You said
Yeah.
it that way. I'm not
Like
happy.
seriously though,
I'm
like, and
Gucci.
that's kind of sad to say, because you should be able to wear what I mean. Personally, I don't really care that much about clothes. Like, I like to look nice, but and we have an episode on fashion. If you want to hear what we have to say about fashion, episode
That
9.
was a profound episode.
Episode 9.
Did you remember that just off the top of your head?
No, I was looking at Canva where we design the.
Yeah.
I was looking back at that today, and
All right.
anyways, I think it's episode 9. It's probably not. Now I'm gonna get it.
Just look for the word fashion. It's on there.
But anyways, yeah, I think you can stretch what does essential mean to certain people, but
So what is the essentials if we just tighten it as hard as we could? Like
water.
outside of like food, shelter, and what's the other one? There's 3, right?
People.
Food, shelter, and
I don't know,
water.
I guess.
So
is food.
on top of that, I would say faith is a very important one, and I don't know, relationships with other people.
Yeah, that's the big one.
And then as you loosen it, you start because if I didn't have my phone, like technically it is an essential because it'd be hard to do anything, but like,
Yeah.
It helps you connect with other people. That's essential.
but is it essential?
If
It isn't
if you have,
essential. It makes something that is essential easier.
You know what? It's not essential to my
but
survival.
doesn't that make it essential though?
It's essential to my comfort in my daily life. So I think we have to decide what is essential to.
But then again, it could multiply.
So,
Here's
like-
what I'm thinking in my head. Hold up.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're, I know what
Like
you're trying to
everything
say.
multiplies.
Yeah.
Like you're okay. So what you're saying, Sid, is you have a person that you want to keep connected to. You need a phone. That's essential. Then is the phone to the person. But then you need a charger, which is essential to the phone. Then you need internet, which is essential, and it just keeps
Well,
multiplying.
yeah, but the phone isn't essential to talking to that person because I could go meet with them.
Mm-hmm.
But then a car would be essential.
So it's almost essential to my convenience.
But it could be essential to your time management, because if you got to get in the car and go see somebody, then if you're saying time management and time is essential, then we need to figure out how to save time.
So yeah.
boom.
So it comes back around to, so like what I think you were trying to get into this a little bit. If you're a homesteader and you live out in the middle of nowhere and you chop down your own trees and you hunt your own meat and all that stuff, it's not essential to have a chainsaw. But if all you had was an axe, like to what extent and to what degree do we call something essential because it just makes things more
Easier.
convenient and
I think
easier?
there should be like tiers of essential. Like the tier 1 is survival. Tier 2 is what would come after survival.
Help you to survive. Shelter.
No, that would fall under survival. Let's just say next is comfort. I'm sure there's some steps in there. Comfort. There's so many things in comfort. A phone would be in comfort.
Yeah.
Accessory.
Maybe next would be like health, like because having good health would come after survival. I don't know if you think about it like that. If you're that kind of person that wants to like organize your life down to the very pin, that might be interesting. And just for the
And then
purpose
at
of
the very
conversation,
outer
it's
core of the circle, you
fun to
could
think of.
get rid of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said,
But Yeah, I would like to take my life and organize it into different categories and say I can eliminate this, make more time for this, because there's some things
Yeah.
in my life that I just want to like do better at. I mean, I'm finding myself growing up, and I just like I know what to do right. I can talk about it all day long. When it comes down to it, I do the wrong thing,
Mhm.
Yep.
and it drives me crazy.
Yep.
And I know that I'm capable, and it's like I don't want to find myself 30 years later having known exactly what to do, the recipes for success, and just having ignored them because I'd rather do these other things that aren't essential to my life, but they make me feel better
Yeah,
in the
but
moment.
so like to what degree, like I think essential to mental health is being able to relax.
Right.
Being able to have something in your life like video games or whatever that turns your brain off and lets you relax. That's essential. So but like how do you pare that down to I'm only going to spend an hour playing video games instead of
Yeah.
4 hours.
And that comes into organization and like self-discipline and
Yeah.
taking because even self-discipline wouldn't go that far because you have to take the time to like organize it and make a decision and a plan. Otherwise, you're just disciplining yourself and without any purpose behind it. This is going like way on a tangent, but like
Yeah.
this is
We're figuring out
we're-
things that we
we're-
never thought we would.
Yeah, we're like talking about it, and
this is reflecting off my own emotions because, I just want like I'm in the point in my life where I want to start doing more. And I have so many hours in the day, and I feel like there's too much of a comfort density in there. Like,
You need somebody
Yeah.
that's gonna go up in there and bust that up
yeah.
like an alter ego
just-
or like.
I see people like Gary Vee that are like, you're only working 12-hour days? Screw you. You shouldn't be successful anyway. You know? And I'm like, I'm
Man.
not even working an 8-hour day some days. Like,
I don't know about Gary Vee, man. Like,
Yeah.
Now who is that again?
Gary Vaynerchuk, he's like a marketing
Oh, Vandercheck. Yeah. Yeah.
icon type.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
okay, so
He's on Joe Rogan's
Yeah.
thing.
was it really? There's this book called Essentialism. What?
You're sarcastic about it.
No,
Sorry,
no.
you
What,
got
I really wasn't trying to be sarcastic
Oh,
there.
dang.
But
It
there's
made
a
me laugh.
book by Greg McKeown. McKeown. I don't know. Essentialism: the disciplined pursuit of less. And I think so. I listened to a podcast where they did a review and like
I think that says Mick Owen.
whatever.
I think that's how you say it.
But they talked about this book, and kind of what I got from that is this is more of like what information or what that you're learning is most essential. So like one little piece of the summary here: the way of the essentialist involves doing less but better, so you can make the highest possible contribution.
So being
like-
efficient.
Yeah, this is all about like not putting your eggs in too many baskets. There's something else I was looking for, but I couldn't think
Yeah.
of it there. So if you're trying to work your 8-hour job, but then you're trying to go home and start your own business, but also you have this cool hobby that you enjoy doing, how do you do less things, but you do those things to the best of your ability so that you can actually contribute more to society and possibly make more money and possibly be happier?
Yeah.
So it's this whole concept of like, and like the book art, if you want to go look it up, it's Essentialism. You'll probably find it on Google. It's like all of these, like, these lines that are just like crumpled up together. It's kind of like how your brain works sometimes, about how your brain's moving 100 miles a minute and you don't even know how to think straight. Essentialism is figuring out how to take those thoughts and put them on a train track where they're going one direction.
Yeah.
So this is a different view of essentialism because this is more of the conceptual essentialism, not like physical things, but more conceptual.
I never realized, but this is like you could easily write a book on this topic or books. You
This
know,
guy did.
I mean, I know exactly. Like, no, I just never thought about it
Yeah.
like that. You know,
The tagline is the disciplined pursuit of less. So and it also goes all into this like there's something in culture right now that like this minimalist movement. People are trying to live in like a 1-bedroom apartment with like 5 outfits, and they have like maybe a laptop to write their minimalist blog on.
Yeah.
But they live on nothing else, and they buy the bare minimum at the grocery store, and they eat rice and chicken every night, and it's
Well, the plus side of that is you're saving a bunch of money.
well, yeah. I mean, but beyond that, are you like? I believe they're probably happier. They don't have as much crap to deal with, and
Yeah.
probably less stressed out because they have like. I always had this idea. I think I talked about this in the fashion episode of like, I really wish I could just find a couple good pairs of jeans and some good fitting white T-shirts, and
Yep.
just be that guy that all you ever wear is like you see him he's wearing the same thing every day, pair of jeans and a white T-shirt. Because that takes all of the stress out of like you don't have to wake up in the morning and it's like, what am I wearing today?
Yeah, like on like Saturdays and like Sundays, you wear like me. You know how I wore that stuff at the lake? What those things called? The beach shirts. Like Saturdays
Hawaiian
and
shirts.
yeah, Hawaiian shirts for Saturdays and Sundays, and then Monday through to Friday, I'm wearing khakis, tennis shoes, and a different collared shirt. I would be happy like that. I would be happy if I had a shirt for every day and then the same
Yeah.
pair of khakis all week, and then
But
wash
it's-
them on the end of the
So
week.
I do that to some degree where I have like 5 golf shirts, and in the summertime, sometimes I'll just cycle through those where like literally I wear them the same day every week. But then like some part of me is like, is everybody at work like why
Aware?
does he wear the same
Yeah.
things all the time? But golf shirts are comfortable.
Yeah.
And in the summertime, they're cool. And heck, I wear the same khakis like 3 times and nobody's gonna notice that because they're just
Mm-mm.
khakis. But I don't know. That's the way I like to go about dressing sometimes because of I think it's because of this essentialism thing of like I want to take the stress of figuring out what to wear out of my life because it's not essential to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like wearing nice clothes is not necessarily essential.
No.
Yeah, I feel like that would literally take the stress of the morning away.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you ate, like, I feel like that's that can be a good approach to anything, honestly. Like, breakfast. Like, I'm eating eggs and bacon on Mondays.
Yeah.
And then Tuesdays and
Oh, man.
Wednesdays, I'm eating cereal.
Just, like, schedule out your life like that, yeah.
And then you just, like, you know what to expect when that day comes. So you're almost, like, if you like bacon and eggs, you're going to love Mondays.
Yeah.
Your Mondays are going to be great. And
So,
if
like,
you find a cereal you like.
Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory basically does that with his life. They have to eat the same things on every week. Like, but he goes as far as, like, he literally uses the bathroom at the same time every day. And, I mean,
I know people like that.
Well, it's really easy to get that way. That was a couple summers ago. Literally, and I'm not even exaggerating, every single day for lunch, I ate rice, chicken, and broccoli. Every day. Like, because I don't really care what I eat. It's just literally food exists for sustenance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, sometimes I want to...
You don't have stress eating?
I mean, yeah, but it depends on what kind of state of mind I'm in. But... that summer also got to the point where I was using the bathroom at the same time every day. Because if you're eating the same things at the same times, like your body's gonna get in this rhythm.
How did it make you feel, like your body wise?
Incredible.
So
You always know what's coming, dude.
And it's in a rhythm. Like what is that like to be in a rhythm of?
You gotta
like
try it, man.
constant flux,
It's so cool.
Or no, flux is the opposite of rhythm. Rhythm in general, like just being.
Like imagine that though. Like
I don't know. It
to some
upsets me.
degree,
I
that
don't know.
dehumanizes us because it turns us into robots.
Robots, yeah.
But to some degree, it also makes life a lot less stressful.
I kind of want to do that, but I'm afraid of my other self. I'm like, I feel like I have like
Your other self,
yeah, like
multiple personalities.
no, not personality, but like kind of like I want to do that, but at the same time I know what kind of person I am, and I know that like I have a tendency to not want to do something because of consistent. I don't know. I don't like staying consistent. I don't know
Yeah.
what that is. What is that called? Like when you don't like.
Like when you specifically try to like break away from consistency.
Yeah, or like this everyday thing where you do something the same thing every day the same way or same time. Like I don't know why I just have such a hard time letting myself
Yeah.
become in a, I don't know, like what do you call it? Rhythm, not a rhythm, but I can't think of the word.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I feel like half the problem in my life right now is that I'm so unstructured that I forget to eat, then I get frustrated, and then I
Yeah.
spiral,
Yeah.
and I just don't get anything done because I'm like I feel like crap.
Do you get
and then
hangry?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like I'm one of those kind of people that if I don't eat, I'm like I just get frustrated,
Yeah.
and
I know.
you know, and so but see, if I had a schedule where I ate at 12 o'clock every day, then I ate dinner at 6 o'clock, I feel like my life would just like I would just get so much more done just because I wouldn't be feeling bad or feel like I need a nap or feel completely out of energy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it helps this concept of essentialism. When you live your life that way, it helps you be disciplined in other areas of your life.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's the goal we should have is trying to get ourselves on this like really strict, at least through the weekdays. The weekends are hard, man.
Yeah, that's what knocks it off. That's what's so hard to stay on a schedule is the weekend.
Like if like I could be going 2 months straight going to the gym every weekday, and then just one weekend I get lazy, sleep all day, and like then I wake up on Monday I don't feel like going to the gym, and that's just like I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like knocks my entire 2 months of progress out of whack just because of one weird weekend.
Yeah.
And especially during the summer, man, because
Yeah.
be going to the lake, some vacations, like it's a hard time to actually structure your life.
I guess it comes down to discipline.
It's all,
But it's also like
I think
trying to get other people on board with you, though.
That helps.
It would help if we were all three doing the same thing, and then when we went on vacation together, we all went to bed at the same time.
I think
didn't have
I
to-
think we all need to take cold showers every morning.
No,
I'm
No.
telling you, man, this is a challenge. Challenge yourself.
I ain't taking no.
Take a
plunge.
cold shower for 7 days in a row and tell
Ugh.
me how it makes you feel.
I love the concept. It's just like
That's gonna make
I
me
love
angry.
a hot shower.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing is like
Yeah, I know.
tell yourself I'm going to be disciplined and I'm not going to rationalize. I'm not going to step away from this. I'm going to do it for 7 days. And like it changes your viewpoint on other things in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally I did it for like a week And it made me do my homework on time. I got up and went to work on time every day. I was never late. It changed my life in a way because I was forcing myself to be disciplined in this one area.
Yeah.
So I really think, like, and not just taking cold showers, but any type of, like, challenge you give yourself. Like, I'm going to challenge myself for the next month to work out every day. And just, like, being able to stick to that, teaching yourself discipline through challenging yourself can really go a long way to learning essentialism.
Yeah. Because I don't think it's easy a lot of times to implement some of these essentials or give them the time of day that they deserve.
Yeah.
I mean, some things are easy. Food is easy because if we don't eat food, we die. But like some of the more conceptual things, it's hard to prioritize them.
Yeah.
But they're essential, and sometimes we just ignore that, which seems weird.
All right, I'm gonna try it.
I think you should, man.
I'll try it tomorrow morning. All right.
You know, going back to the less conceptual things like food, and this kind of goes in a different direction where we were going, but you think about water, that's essential to life, but how many people don't drink water?
They drink
like
it
Hunter,
without...
he just drinks Mountain Dew.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to soda. It's so good.
I mean, I like soda too, but like that's like literally life. I mean, water is essential to living your, like, literally you'll die without it.
Yeah.
So why is it so hard for some people to never drink, like, actual straight, like, I'm going to go drink a glass of water?
Well, that's a perfect way to explain, like, everything we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Like, we need water, but we find every substitute other than that to
Yeah.
get it, right?
Like, we need to drink something. We need liquid. How can I get that liquid that is also going to give me this sugar rush? And
Yeah.
like, we're trying to get more things out of it than we need to get out of it. Like, that's the whole thing with when I was eating chicken and rice every day, I got sick and tired of it. It didn't taste good, but that's not the mindset I was in. The mindset I was in at that point was, this is essential to life. I don't care what it tastes like. Like, this is literally only exist to make me healthier, to make me stronger. And so, like, I just kind of turned this switch in my brain, and it changed my mindset on food. Of, like, I don't really care if food tastes good, because that's not the point of food.
Well, dang, do you not use any spices?
No, dude.
Hot sauce? That's what I'd have done.
No,
I'd have made it
literally
taste good.
bland rice. I mean, because I'm not kidding. I turned the switch in my brain that said, food doesn't exist to make you happy. Food exists for sustenance. And I mean, there's a lot of people throughout history, and, like, gluttony is a sin.
Yeah.
Like, eating and gorging yourself, but, like, man, there's one time in college where me and my roommate, we both went and we each got a dozen donuts, and we ate a dozen donuts within one day. Like, that's a sin, man.
Sounds really
That's
good.
gluttony.
I could go for a donut right now.
Yeah, but
That's terrible to your body too.
But so that's another thing. Like, if you're going to these extremes where you eat a cheeseburger every day and you're eating donuts and you're just not having healthy eating habits, like,
It's overindulgence.
one of the best ways to counteract that is just to cold turkey stop. Switch a switch in your brain that says food is not for happiness. Food exists in order for sustenance.
Right.
And this is one example. I mean, you can apply that to a lot of things in your life.
Well, I really like what you said about the soda. Like, I think that's a perfect metaphor because, you know, we were talking about reflecting on yourself and stripping it down to what are the essentials. Well, look at soda. It has an essential within it. It has the water. Strip out the sugar, strip out the chemicals, the coloring, and you got water.
Mm-hmm.
So if we analyze these things, we can find the essentials located within everything we do because we
Yeah.
do everything for a reason because it meets a human need.
We just need to take away all the crap that's cluttering it.
Yeah, take out all the crap that's in soda that kills everybody.
So, like, look at video games. We do that because it makes us happy, because it's relaxing and leisurely. Strip away all the bad that video games has, which I'm not really trying to hate on video games. I'm just trying to use an example, but find something that's productive that can give you those same things, that can make you happy, that can relax you. Like, reading is a good example of that. I mean, maybe you can get that same type of leisure out of reading, but usually reading a book is going to be more productive than playing a video game.
Yeah.
I mean,
or find substitutes. Like, look at video games. Its purpose is probably entertainment, leisure. What can you substitute? It doesn't have to even be the same type of thing. It could just be like walking outside.
And I think this is what you apply when you realize, okay, I play too many hours of video games a day. Instead of playing 4 hours of video games, I'm going to play 1 hour of video games, and then with those other 3 hours that I'm trying to fill up with leisure and relaxation, I'm going to do something productive.
Yeah.
Because you realize the essential things in life, yeah, it's essential to be happy and it's essential to find happiness, but it's not essential to find that through video games.
Yeah. And I think it's cool to experiment too. Like if you look at your life as a sports team, like sub out that one player that, yeah, he may be an awesome player and you may love him, but maybe he doesn't synergize or talk well with the team.
Yeah.
Put something else.
You might find a freshman who is like the best player on the team, but he's been on the bench all year just because he's a freshman.
Yeah.
You might surprise yourself.
I just think that's an interesting concept. Like design your life to where everything works together and it all leads you to one goal, which is, everybody's goal is a little bit different, but like for me, it's faith and happiness and family. And that it can be accomplished. But you can't do that and just expect to every day do what makes me feel good and expect to reach those goals.
Yeah.
To be proactive about it, and making those substitutions, which requires discipline and the initiative to actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
But once you do it, it becomes the norm anyways.
Yeah.
And that substitute still meets that need, just in a different way.
Yeah. So let's take this metaphor a little farther. Sometimes the star player on the soccer team breaks their leg. They got to sit out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe that means unplug your video game system and go put it in the closet, or like give it to your parents or give it to your best friend. Say, don't give this back to me for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have a choice. You
Yeah.
can't play video games because you don't have your PS4. So that's another way to do discipline is like force it upon yourself.
And I feel like a lot of times you put that other player in and he just so happens for some reason, because that's the nature of teams, that they're just better now,
Yeah.
Like maybe the other guy was making everybody feel bad and was like, you guys suck and I'm the best.
Yeah.
And then you get this new guy, fresh guy in. I don't know.
This is the greatest metaphor that we have ever come up with.
We haven't come up with many metaphors, but I do
It was
like
a
it.
good metaphor.
Yeah.
I'm going to write a book about it. Just that single metaphor.
I just like
Your
that
life
this
is a
recorded.
sport. Yeah.
Now we can listen to it.
Your life is a sport, and everything in your life is just the team.
Yeah.
You got some people who are good players. You got some people who suck.
Yeah. It's like deck building in Magic.
Yeah.
Like
You mean Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, find the cards that make your life work, that make the deck win. This
Dude.
this isn't even a stretch, man.
We need to start a new podcast called Metaphors, the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I think we're really good at it.
Dude.
Metaphors are fun.
All right.
That's
you guys,
3 metaphors in 5 minutes, by the way.
That was good.
Yeah.
You guys have any final things on essentialism? Because we got a little topic here at the end we want to have a little discussion about.
No.
I've just been sitting here like imagining how my life would be if I was fully disciplined.
Yeah.
Waking up and going to bed at the same time, having like schedulized like things happening.
Scheduleized, man. I like that new word
like-
you created there.
Like 12 o'clock to 12:30 I eat lunch, and then 6 or 7 o'clock at night I eat.
Yeah, but now
Dinner.
imagine how easy it would be for you to achieve that. It wouldn't take hardly anything.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
know.
It'd take an alarm clock.
Mm-hmm.
It
That's
just
it.
blows my mind how hard it is for me though.
Yeah.
It's hard to start, but like once
It's
you
hard
get
to
into
start,
it, it would
yeah.
be you would feel no different.
I
That's
just
why-
gotta turn it off. I gotta turn that.
But that's the
whatever
whole
that is
that's the
now.
whole concept of the cold shower thing is that's something that you don't have to do. Like
Yeah.
it's something that you could just as easily one day wake up like I'm not freaking taking a cold shower today. I'm taking a hot shower because it feels good. But then you fail and you got to live with like crap. Like I challenged myself to do something and I failed at doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a simple little thing. There's nothing to lose by taking a cold shower.
Yeah.
The stakes are non-existent. So that's like using that to teach yourself discipline is better than using something that has high stakes to teach you discipline. Like your job is high stakes.
Mm-hmm.
You either have a job or you get fired or something. So don't use something like that to teach yourself discipline. Use something that has low stakes.
Right.
Let's challenge each other. Like for me, I want to challenge myself to Dang, I don't want to do it.
Dude, you got to, man.
I want to do it.
And here, this is insightful because this is the problem. This is the reason why people don't reach where they want to because they don't want to do it.
I do want to
They-
do it though. That's the
but
thing. I
You
can't.
want
but
to,
you don't want to.
but the thought of it makes you uncomfortable. You've got to
Yeah.
get over. You've got to realize in life, being disciplined and being the best you can be, there's gonna be a lot of discomfort.
Yeah.
I mean, we were called to do that by Jesus in a way. Like, we're supposed to go out of our way to put ourselves in uncomfortable situations because we're supposed to thrive whenever we put ourselves in those situations.
Yeah.
And that's true in all of life. If you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, you're gonna learn something from it. You're gonna get something out of it.
Yeah.
Word.
Word to your mother.
All right. What do y'all go first? Who's challenging what?
I challenge you.
No,
to a duel.
you can't challenge me. You
I
gotta
challenge
challenge
you to a
yourself.
duel.
Do it yourself. You gotta challenge yourself.
I challenge. Well, let me think. I
I
challenge
think of
myself
something.
to maintain a schedule, get up at the same time, and eat regularly. That's
no,
it.
that's too broad. I'm
No,
talking
it's
about
not.
specific. Like, just pick one thing
Eat
because that
regularly.
involves a lot of things.
Eat 3 meals a day at the same time.
Boom. That's perfect. What times?
I mean, that's personal information. Just kidding. No, like
I'm gonna be texting you. I'm gonna be
Like,
like, "Did you
all
eat
right,
your breakfast?"
I want to eat it like 8:39, lunch at 12.
Why
dinner-
8:39?
Why does it matter to you?
I don't know. I'm
This
just
is-
curious.
Because I imagine myself getting up at 8, kind of tinkering around, and then like
All right.
get into the kitchen.
8:39.
Okay.
You better have that food ready to eat by 8:40. Okay. What about you, Clayton?
I'm gonna challenge myself, and Mackenzie would love to hear me say this. I'm gonna go to the gym every day next week
Nice.
because I've been neglecting that a lot lately.
You want to come with me?
No,
Why not?
I don't want to go to that stupid gym.
Fine, I'll go with Zach. All right, but that's not a challenge. I'm going to challenge myself to.
Just take a cold shower every day, man.
No, I'm not talking about that. I could do a cold shower as long as I got soda in my mouth.
because you do.
What? Wait,
I
that's a
was-
good idea. I can drink my hot coffee.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
doing a no soda challenge of like just
Oh,
drinking
dude, that's
water.
easy, dude.
Yeah, that is.
Please
easy.
do that. That'll-
You don't need.
You'll
soda, man.
learn. Like I went through, I think a whole semester when I was in NC State, a whole like 5 months, didn't drink a single soda, and I mean after the first couple weeks, you don't even think about soda anymore, unless you're Hunter Baumgartner.
Yeah, you don't understand. Like, my house is meant for children to like go crazy in because my nieces
That's a
and
really weird
nephews.
description. My house is meant for children to go crazy.
My
in.
nephews and nieces are like always coming over, so my mom always has soda ready. Always has,
That's
like-
part of the discipline. Being able to look at a sun drop and saying, "No, I'm not going to drink that." That's part of discipline, man.
I know.
That's why the whole shower thing, and I keep coming back to this. You can look at the shower, you can just turn that knob to hot. It's just that easy. But just telling yourself not to do that is what steps you over that bound.
How cold
and-
can I have it though?
As cold as it can get.
No, no, that's freezing.
It's
cold.
good for your health
It's
too.
like me like having like freaking icicles hanging from my nose. That's cold.
No, I mean that's what I did. It's good for your health too, taking cold showers.
All right, cold showers and then water.
Yeah, you can't drink a single soda over the next week.
Okay, that doesn't count the one in my truck that I'm about to go drink right now. That's my
Yes, it
last
does,
one.
dude.
That's my last
Okay,
one.
yeah, this starts tomorrow.
Okay,
So
okay.
we're recording this on Tuesday. So from tomorrow until next Wednesday.
Okay, I can do
Which,
this.
but for me, it's got to start next week because I've got too much schoolwork here at the gym.
See, well, we need to stay on each other. We need to text each other and call each other. I'm doing
fine
it.
with that, dude.
I'm doing it. What do you challenge is?
Go to the gym. See,
Oh yeah.
for us, I feel like for me it's easier, but for you could just drink soda. We would never know.
I don't know, man. It's hard for not knowing when Sid's gonna eat breakfast.
Yeah, but he could send us a picture every meal he eats. He could send us a picture.
You better have
You
Snapchat
guys,
ready.
you guys saw a picture of the one breakfast I made. I'll send you lots of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to do this with Mackenzie where I would have to send her a Snapchat of me in the gym every day in order to keep myself accountable.
Wait.
Okay.
Can I drink coffee?
Yeah, dude. Just no soda.
No cream and sugar.
Oh,
Oh, you can have the cream.
no,
No
I
sugar.
can't do it. No sugar. I'm not having any sugar anymore.
Yeah, sugar's the point.
No.
At all.
Well,
And
you
really-
can't help it. Food has sugar in it too, but
Well,
you can't help that.
Coffee with cream and sugar is still better than soda.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm just gonna do black coffee.
Well,
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing black
you don't
coffee.
if you put the amount of sugar that's in a soda in your coffee, it'd be disgusting.
Yeah, true.
It'd be way too sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
And drink cold water. Get water bottles, because like getting water out of the tap and getting a fresh like water bottle to me is like
Yeah.
a lot different.
I mean, that's a personal thing because I don't mind tap water.
But see, here's the thing, like it's so much easier for me. Like I love water, so it's not a problem for me. But like when I get a cold bottle of water right out of the fridge, it's so like it's almost as good as like
You're
a gourmet coffee.
destroying the environment.
That's not the point. How do you know I didn't just recycle those bottles and put tap water in them? The point is that it's super cold and
You
there's no
didn't,
ice.
Sid.
Oh, you don't like ice?
I like ice, but not when I'm drinking water. Because
Okay.
like when I drink water, I just chug it.
I hate when I drink
Okay.
anything and like the ice touches my teeth and I'm like, ugh, it's cold.
Wait, why does ice touch your teeth when you're drinking something?
Because you're like you're drinking
Just
and it's got
imagine that.
ice and it hits your lips and you're just like,
Yeah,
ugh.
okay, you said teeth.
Sorry, teeth, lips, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't drink
what's
like
the difference
this.
actually between teeth?
Shut up. You know.
I'm sorry. I'm not taking part of this.
All right. Let's
Okay, I was thinking of
Well-
ice cream, but ice in general.
Oh man,
I
I think the best sensation is biting ice cream.
No,
Oh,
that's horrible.
God. No,
You're trying to get a reaction out of it because everybody knows that sucks.
because when you eat it, you're like, God, it's
But see,
burning.
But I don't have sensitive teeth.
I do. I
So-
couldn't do that. It makes me.
my teeth.
it's like
Biting
chalk.
ice cream is more satisfying than licking ice cream.
What?
Well, because you get more of it, right?
I like it when
That's
I do
like
my lips
it's
around
like
it. but-
imagine pizza was as cold as ice cream, and the only way you could consume it was by licking it. what would you want to do more? Take a big bite of pizza or lick it?
Bite it. But that's because you can't lick pizza. You wouldn't get anything off except the
Technically,
grease.
you can lick.
Okay,
pizza.
imagine pizza. Imagine pizza was of a consistency that you could get.
How long
Then
would
it would just
take
be
you-
ice cream, and I'd rather lick it because it would hurt my teeth.
Hold on, how long would it take you to get to the center of a pizza roll?
Depends how rough your tongue is.
Very
you have
long.
to lick it like for how strong is our saliva to break away into that bread or whatever?
Not
Just-
very. Okay,
just-
I'm just saying. I think if you didn't have sensitive teeth whatsoever, I think you would enjoy biting ice cream more.
Well, personally, I would rather have a huge spoonful of ice cream than lick it because I'm
Yeah.
getting all that flavor at once. So
Actually, I do bite ice cream when it's in a cone.
I bite it with my
Well,
lips.
when else would you bite ice cream? Out of a when
You-
it's on a spoon, you don't have to bite it.
Yeah, but like that's the only time I do bite ice cream if it's in a cone, like preferably the waffle cones. What? I know.
That's a tough one, man. I don't know.
Oh man. All right.
Never mind.
I don't know what the heck we're
What are we talking
at this
about?
point.
Let's talk about Avengers. We're
All
gonna
right.
talk about that.
Major spoiler warnings going forward from this point.
If you don't want to hear about it,
If you haven't seen Avengers and you plan on it, and we're talking about Avengers Endgame here, I guess any Avengers because it's gonna spoil it all. But
Spoiler alert: Iron Man
22
dies,
movies.
and everybody knew that was gonna happen.
you just
dang it! Why did you say that?
because everybody knew he was gonna die anyways.
No, but we were gonna say,
Before
hey,
the
we're
movie
gonna
came
start
out-
saying the
Hunter gave it away
spoilers.
for me. Hunter spoiled the movie for me before
How?
because you said the final credit scene, the final thing was him making the Iron Man suit, which
No.
100% gives it away.
No,
that
no,
he's
no.
gonna die.
It was
What does that
the
mean,
Sound. It was the sound of him hitting hammer
Exactly,
on steel.
that gives it away.
I didn't even see that part.
Yeah, but you said it.
But what does that sound tell us? Is it just to remember?
I
It's
thought-
just a tribute.
I thought it was a tribute to how he started everything, and at the very
Okay,
end.
so if you
it goes
Mm-hmm.
haven't
back
realized
to
by
where we
now,
started.
yeah, we're in spoiler territory. So leave. Well, I
It's
mean, I
too
guess
late.
you're
It's
too
too
late
late.
now. Like
It's
I was gonna give him a chance, give him a little
Sid just-
pause, but then
yeah,
Sid just went
Sid's
for
like,
it.
he died. He's dead,
But
everyone.
my point is that everybody knew he was gonna die because his contract ended with Disney and he's leaving.
There's
Chris
other ways
Evans
that, there's
didn't
other ways
die.
they could go about it.
Captain America didn't die. Everybody thought he was gonna die.
Well, is he still continuing on?
No.
no, but
Oh.
he's an old ass man. Oh, sorry.
Oh wait, he did die in his own respect though. Like
No,
he died as
just
a character.
Got old. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that's like they
he
could have
got
done something like that
older.
with Iron
He
Man.
got written out of the story. That's what happened.
That does suck. I would have rather Iron Man been the old guy and Captain America died because
no,
his family's
no,
dead.
This is exactly what
Iron
happened.
Man has a freaking
Just-
daughter.
Hear me out. Hear me
yeah,
out. Hear me
I
out.
do wish that.
Listen, this is what they put on the board. All right, Captain America was always and forever will be willing to risk his life to save others. So they made it to where Captain America always willing to do something. He should go get a life, and Tony Stark never willing to like be. He's always selfish, always like willing to like do whatever it's good for him and not other people. To go
That's
risk
not
his
true
life
in
to
the
save
slightest.
everyone else. No, but like
his
that's-
whole purpose since the first Avengers has been like figuring out how to save the world from aliens.
But that's the thing. That's the journey. That's the hero's journey of Tony Stark becoming less self or
That all happened in the first Iron Man movie.
yeah, but you kind of see it a little bit more like at the very end of Endgame where he's like, I don't want to go help you guys. I have a family now. I sucks to suck, but like I can't.
He never said that in Endgame.
Yeah, or remember he was like, I'm gonna stay here. I had a second chance and I got it.
Oh,
Y'all didn't, so
See,
well.
That was one of my big problems with the movie. I didn't want him to die either. Like I thought he was gonna design the time machine and do all that and then not go, because he had like the whole scene with the daughter and everything. Like, why would he even risk giving that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he would just design the time machine, help him out with the plan, but then not actually go back in time with him.
Well, they needed his help.
But not really. What did he do? He was part of the plan, but like they could have done it without him.
Well, honestly, if you think about it, it just all kind of happened out of nowhere. Because when he snapped his fingers, that was their plan. But then all of a sudden, Thanos just shows up out of nowhere. That wasn't a planned thing.
But why would he even risk his life?
Well, he didn't. Like, what I'm saying is, I don't think they knew. Like, if he knew that was going to happen, like, if that. Even Doctor Strange says, if you knew that was going to happen, like, then you probably wouldn't do it. But he didn't know until the very end what he had to do, and then he did it.
But why would you even risk it? Why would you go back in time?
Because Tony Stark. He's had so much like
I know, man,
confidence that he thinks that he can live through everything.
But he's lived the last 5 years raising his daughter, like living a good life with his wife and child, and then just like in a split-second decision is like, I'm gonna risk my entire life and everything I've gained up until this point.
Because it goes into another thing with like, you know how she says you can finally rest now? It all, like, ever since he had that vision, he's never been able to rest. And then after all that happened, he kind of like was like, what the crap? And then Spider-Man died, so he was like, he couldn't live with himself knowing that Spider-Man died in his arms. Like, that's another thing that I feel like pulled him back into that.
At the point that he died, he knew Spider-Man was alive.
Yeah, I know, but the whole thing was, it was either sacrifice myself and save everyone, including my daughter and her.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
his wife.
look, it was a great movie moment. It just upset me.
Yeah.
But think about it. Okay, let's just say he didn't snap his fingers. Then everyone probably would have died. He would have lost his child again, or not again, but like lost Spider-Man again. Lost his child and his wife.
Think about this. He had the stones.
But it's
how
movie.
is Thanos going to beat him at that point? He had the stones. He could have done something else with a snap besides doing what he did.
He couldn't even. He didn't even need to snap. He
Exactly.
could just send him back in time.
That's what I'm saying.
He
Why did he kill himself?
He could have done the purple thing where he like sends like a shockwave to all of them. Then did like
he didn't even have to do anything.
Like a reality stone and turned them on into like gooey crap or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. The only thing he had to do was take the stones. He didn't even have to do anything with the stones.
Well, here's something we're missing though. There are like billions of different realities that took place, and Doctor Strange said only one ended with the win.
Yeah, but that's like dramatic.
But I'm saying if Tony Stark had done every other option, maybe it didn't work out.
Maybe it didn't
in the end.
Maybe that's what he said.
That's
like
true.
One chance.
I just can't imagine that. Like, you've got the stones. What does Thanos do at that point?
Well, you saw that he got it. He got it back. No matter what you do, he seems like it's always at the very end. He always finally gets the glove. Like, he had it on and everything, and he was about to snap his fingers again. Like, they came so far, and if they got to the point where he had literally a foot from his thumb to his middle finger to snap his fingers, like,
I mean, that's a whole other thing else. Like, just think about it. Like, I know, okay, they explained it away. Like, somebody was like, we need to get those stones as far away from here as possible, and then somebody was like, no, we have to go to the time machine. There are, like, hundreds of superpower, like,
Here's what I would have done. If I was Doctor Strange, I would have made a freaking circle thing, threw the gauntlet in there with somebody.
Something, dude.
And then that'd been the end of the story.
Okay, so the whole thing was like the van was in the middle of the battle scene. The time machine was in the middle.
They could have jumped him to the van with the circle thing.
Or they could have transported that van, somewhere else. Like, there's just so many things they could have done.
Falls right in front of them.
But, okay, the whole blockbuster, this whole movie is the type of movie you're not supposed to think this hard about.
Yeah, I know.
Because if you break down the time travel of this movie, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, they actually rewrote the rules in time travel, which
to very little effect.
Yeah,
because it doesn't make any sense.
Because if Steve Rogers went back in time to live his other alternate life or whatever, then he definitely would have created a different time, whatever.
Yeah.
While he was
that made sense. it was a different Steve Rogers living out that timeline. So in the timeline we know of as the MCU, there have always been two Steve Rogers.
Holy crap.
The one from the original timeline we know, but now we know that through everything that's happened, there's been another Captain America just like living with Peggy under the radar.
Then why
So
did
did
she
he have
tell
to
him
hide
at the
from
end?
her all
Think
the
about
time?
it though. She could have told him.
No, they like got together. But
What did
but
she know
just-
about the other guy?
I think she did. He just had to like swear to secrecy. You can't say anything about me.
Holy crap! It makes so much sense because remember when she was like married and had kids when he first meets her when he gets back into the future. You remember?
Yeah.
And she's like sad and stuff, but like, what if she already lived that life with him, but he just didn't know about it? That's so crazy.
No. I don't think that happened. I think
Well, if you just said there's always been two Captain Americas in one universe, then think about it. Wouldn't she have married him, and then had the whatever, and then had a family?
when he went back the second time, he changed her reality.
Okay, but that wouldn't. Okay,
How
See,
many
that's
realities
confusing.
did that change though? Like she had so much interaction in her life
But
without
the
him.
whole point, they explained that if they went and took the songs all back, that they weren't gonna split off the realities. That it was still gonna be the one timeline, and it was all gonna be all good.
Yeah, but then again,
But
they screwed that up when he stayed back in the other time.
They never showed us. Wait, he did take the stones back though, didn't he?
Yeah, but they also very much screwed it up when they snapped away Thanos 5 years ago. Thanos, or technically at that point it was like 9 years ago.
How do you know?
whatever.
What if they just like? I mean, you can do anything with a snap. What if he just like sent them back to their original
Well, yeah,
time
that's fine too.
and erased their memories?
But I think you need a line of dialogue saying that, because otherwise you literally break
Everything you
everything.
just
Because
So
talked
maybe
about.
they cut a new path and then they erased all the other stuff that used to be reality, but it's different now. But there's still
Yeah,
only one stream.
yeah, there's a lot of ways to explain it, but there's no way the characters knew what they were doing.
Right.
No.
Like they didn't. They just literally figured out time travel at the beginning of this movie. They don't know anything about it, yet they're acting like they know it all.
Yeah.
It's movie
The
magic.
one lady did. What's her name? Doctor
The-
Strange's mentor.
The crap. I can't
I don't
remember. What her
know.
I
name
would have been
is.
consulting with her. I'd have been like bringing her back, like, hey, let's figure this out together.
Yeah,
Because you obviously
Well, then
understand.
again, she did say Doctor Strange was the best of us all.
yeah. That was another thing people were saying was, now that they've introduced basically multiple timelines, you could go back in time to a different timeline, go grab Scarlet Witch, not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow.
Yeah.
Go grab Tony Stark, who's still alive in that timeline, bring him to this timeline, catch him up on things, and it's all good now.
Yeah.
They literally introduced that plot hole.
Mm.
Then they open up a multiverse. That's how they did it.
Yeah, I just don't think that explains, because it's the problem with any time travel movie or when time travel is introduced to anything, like when time travel was introduced to X-Men, it ruined a lot of things because they literally used time travel
To fix
to fix problems.
Yeah.
So now that time travel exists within the MCU, it's like, why don't they just use that to fix problems? Oh, because we don't have enough Pym particles. Yeah, right. Like,
They could make infinite Pym particles
for
by
one
going
thing,
back in
for
time.
one thing, Hank Pym
Exactly.
is now alive again. So now all he has to do, exactly. They already proved during the movie that they could go back in time and get more Pym particles because they had to do that as part of the
yeah.
plot. So they've just
And if they
introduced.
can literally go back to that. All right, here's the thing: you go back in time, get the Pym particles. Go a second back in time, a second before you get the Pym particles. You can go back and get. You just keep going until like you can literally
Yeah.
have 1,000
oh yeah, I know.
seconds of like millions of Pym particles.
And also, so for one thing, why don't they use time travel for everything now? For two, what if the enemy gets a hold of time travel? Then who can actually win? Because if you're going back in time to try
Well,
to defeat
that's the
them,
thing.
and they're going back in time to stop that, like,
That's the thing.
that's an
Thanos,
infinite loop.
Thanos had time travel,
Oh, yeah, I know.
and when he
Oh, I know.
in Infinity War, why didn't he just use it? Oh,
Well, he did to some degree, but
he could have used
What
it,
I
went
think-
back all the way like 400 years earlier, and just used the snap and didn't have to fight everybody.
I think with that type of time travel, you could literally have a line of dialogue stating the time stone can only take you back 30 minutes ago or something. I would totally believe that, and
Or
then
like a time loop or something.
it would like erase all of these theories. But just introducing time travel into a big series like this, to me, is lazy writing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we have this huge culminating event, blah blah blah. All these things happen. How are we gonna fix them? Instead of them actually coming up with something clever, they're like, time travel.
But this is based on a comic, right?
Yeah.
So they have a little bit of leeway there.
But the thing is, they don't go back in time in the Infinity War Gauntlet. They have completely different characters fight then. Like, all the Avengers die. They have a random dude from space named Adam. And they have, like, what's-her-face? Gamora grabbed the gauntlet. And then her sister grabs the gauntlet. And then finally Adam Strange got the gauntlet. But they basically have every character grab the gauntlet. Like, they had Iron Man. They had Cap. They had, like, the Hulk. They had, like I said, Adam, and then Galactus. Or
Imagine
not
if
Galactus. They had everyone.
Imagine if Captain Marvel would have been around during Infinity War.
Dude.
And also, Scarlet Witch almost killed Thanos by herself
Yeah.
because she's powerful enough. She's probably in the top 5.
I feel like if she was on the planet when they were fighting, it would've
Imagine
made a
if Captain
complete
Marvel was
difference.
there.
Yeah.
Like, Captain Marvel could go toe-to-toe with Thanos. Easy peasy. Even with the gauntlet on, I think. If she stops him from closing his fist, at that point, he's screwed.
Yeah.
So, but that wouldn't be an issue, except for the fact that this entire MCU, she's existed. And that just opened up all these holes of, like, why the heck was she not at the Battle of New York? Like, why? Like,
That was an intergalactic war, battle right
exactly. She knew she knew of Thanos. Like,
there. Her thing, other planets needed my help.
There's no way other planets needed her help more than Earth needed her help during that.
Yeah, a literal invasion of Earth from the biggest baddie
And
ever.
she's proven that she can basically travel as far as she wants in, like, the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
So
I don't think her character is very interesting. It's just like,
I
I come in and I destroy.
I think it was in the movie before she, like, realized her powers. Her whole character development and the arc that I thought they were sending her on, I was like, dang, this is kind of interesting.
I loved her standalone movie, but when she comes into the Avengers and they frame her as this godlike being, like, even Thor was supposed to be that godlike being, but he's still
he has all these weaknesses.
But then she comes along and they just, like, say, well, let's just let her be absolutely overpowering.
Well, see, I was like, when I saw her standalone movie, I was confident, and I was like, dang, like, I'm really happy because I knew how powerful she was supposed to be. I was like, okay, it seems like they're not going that direction. And then they introduced her in this movie as, like, exactly that. Yeah. And it really made me angry.
I just got mad because they didn't have Thor be in that. Like, why couldn't Thor just destroy that ship? He had the same power level.
Yeah.
Because he was fat.
Dude, just because he's fat doesn't mean he can't fly. Like, literally, that's stupid.
But
he
let's
didn't
be real.
fly once that whole movie.
Any of them could have destroyed that in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But they chose to let her be the one that just kind of, like, has that little moment that, to me, just kind of took me out of the story a little bit.
Another thing that makes me mad is the Hulk. Like, he didn't Hulk out.
Oh my gosh.
He's Professor Hulk, and they just got rid of him.
The number of whatever they wrote out these other characters in these kind of interesting ways, and they chose to write the Hulk out of the series by making him, like,
the Thing from the X-Men,
thousands and thousands of less powerful.
Yeah.
Because he was in the top 5 of, like, most powerful in the MCU until now. Like, he's worth nothing anymore.
Yeah.
He's like one arm. I feel like if he hulked out, he would gain his arm back. Because all the gamma radiation would, like, pump it up better.
Well, that's what... Hulk has, like...
Infinite.
Hulk has the second best generation of any... Deadpool and then Hulk have, like, the same regeneration. After he snapped and his arm did that, within seconds it should have... I mean, if you're going by comic book Hulk standards, within seconds he should have been healed. And I get not going by the comic book standards, but some people's favorite character is the Hulk, and he just... In this movie, he was just the comedic relief. Like,
they crapped on Thor.
It's like, yeah, exactly. Like, they're just relegating these really popular heroes to comedic relief. Like
they spent all this time making Thor, like, awesome, and then the very last movie they make him like they. I mean, wanted him to
I
do so much
enjoyed
more.
some of his lines, and, like, he was still powerful. I actually really liked Captain America taking the hammer because
that was amazing.
They set that up back in Ultron, and it's like all about who's worthy, and, like, out of everybody in the MCU, Captain America is the most honorable, the most worthy of, like, wielding Mjolnir. So, like, I really liked that part.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like maybe the reason they did all these things to these characters is because Captain America and Tony Stark, they needed to focus on those characters the most because those are the ones they had to send off first.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is later because, like,
But
Scarlet
you would
Witch
think it would be...
is going to be sent off. No, not Scarlet Witch. Black Widow is going to be sent off with her last movie. And then, like, you think
I'm glad she's dead. She was worthless. Jesus Christ. I mean, seriously, like,
yeah, she was.
I did like her development
trailer.
in this movie though, because, like, since she's doesn't have any superpowers, she's relegated to being, like, their coordinator or whatever.
Yeah, kind of like a Nick Fury-ish.
Yeah, and so like also another thing, before this movie, I was not really that big of a Captain America fan because I don't I don't like his set of powers that much. Like it's just not that cool. But after like just what they did with him in this movie really brought it home for me. Like he's pretty awesome.
I think that's why they wrote other characters out, because they wanted you to focus more on the better characters.
But that's
Or
what,
not
but
better,
what I was
but
about
like-
to say is, Iron Man, Captain America definitely should have been focused on. I think Thor should have been in that too.
I know they
Okay.
had him right next to him. It was the big three. That
I
were the
know,
big
exactly. So he should have gotten
three.
more
He should have got it.
a more heroic last movie.
And why did Hawkeye get so much attention? They made him
knows,
like super
man.
cool.
Because they're sending
And
him off too. They're
But-
making the characters that they're making cool. They're sending them off, and the characters they want to.
So I guess that means Thor is going to play a pretty big role.
Well, his contract's not over yet,
I know.
so they're gonna have. I bet you they're gonna have another movie with Thor, and they're gonna have Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then he's gonna do something crazy awesome in that, and then he's finally gonna like be the hero we want him to be, and then that's gonna send him off.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna send off Guardians of the Galaxy as well. And then they're going to have to figure out how to send off Captain Marvel because she just got in. Like, she
Yeah.
just arrived in the
Well,
door.
she has 5 more movies contracted after
Holy
this one.
crap.
Yeah.
And what?
She'll probably be in the Guardians. Like, I don't know how many more standalone movies she has, but when
Well,
she
I know
signed,
there's a
she's-
second one.
She signed on for a 7-movie contract.
Well, then Spider-Man.
I'm
They're
just
gonna figure out a
that's
way
what I was
to
about to say. I'm just excited that Spider-Man is the new top dog because like in the new Spider-Man trailer, they're basically saying he's the new Iron Man. He's like
Yeah.
the new face of Avengers.
Because the Iron Spider suit and everything.
Yeah. And okay, why did he give the shield to Falcon and not Bucky?
I don't know. That didn't make any sense to me.
I understand like you fought with Falcon a little more, but Bucky is supposed to become Captain America.
Yeah, like he's literally, if he, like, that whole thing of him giving the shield is like, finally, like, whatever you did, it doesn't matter. Like, I love you. You're my friend. Here's the shield.
Yeah, this redemption thing.
It's a
And the
huge
Falcon's
redemption.
never really done anything bad. Bucky like spent most of his life like
Yeah.
being evil.
And if he just finally takes up the hood of Captain America, it like redeems
maybe,
him fully.
Maybe that's another movie contract thing.
That's
where
definitely
the
it,
Falcon.
no, like they're gonna be in a series together. It's like a buddy cop series where they're like fighting crime together. I'm dead serious.
like
It's already
that.
slated.
I could see
And there's
that.
another one with other people. I can't remember. Rhodey or something.
I like Rhodey, man. Like he's really grown on me over the
Yeah,
past
he's gonna
couple
be in
movies.
it too.
Is he
It's
the
gonna be
rock
those
guy?
3 guys.
The War Machine,
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
dude. Pepper Potts in the Iron Man.
She
era?
was
The Iron
so
Lady.
cool, dude.
That was one of my
Or the
favorite
Iron Maiden.
things.
The Iron Maiden.
That's one
I
of my
don't know.
favorite things that they introduced.
Me too.
Because one of my favorite things about all these movies is the Iron Man suits, like the new things they do with them.
Yeah.
And so that's why I like the Spider-Man sequence where he's like activate like insta kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just
He
love
finally used
Spider-Man
it.
so much,
He
man.
finally used
I
it.
love Spider-Man.
Dude, Black Panther though, he's pretty cool too. I just wish they'd give him more.
I think he'll get a lot more. He's so beloved.
Yeah. And that like his football-ish kind of like him running through like doing flips and stuff. I was like, oh yeah,
That
there
was
we go.
lame.
And then what's another one?
So another thing I heard people talking about, Doctor Strange, all he did was hold back some water. Like
Yeah.
he should have done
He had
so
so
much
much
more during
power.
that battle. Like
What is he
he
doing?
should have been like, "Hey, other wizard friend, you come take care of this. I'm gonna go actually fight the real battle because I'm one of the most
I'm gonna
powerful."
do like a million of me. I'm gonna whip every single creature with a million of my cells.
He did get a lot of like a really good fight against Thanos in Infinity War.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see something like that again because I love Doctor
Or like
Strange,
him
man.
make 15,000 knives and just throw them at the enemy. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, he could have done that.
I know.
Or he could have like bended space and time and like folded
Also-
a mountain on top of all the enemies.
Well,
Also-
he didn't have his time stone though, right?
No, he didn't. But he doesn't need that. He needs.
Okay.
He has the ability to like. You see how they went into like another place.
Yeah, he made
in
it
the movie?
basically made it very clear during Infinity War that he couldn't do that. Like when they're on the spaceship and like they don't know how to drive it and they're trying like they want to go back to Earth. Why couldn't he just go back to Earth?
Yeah. Like,
But then in this one, somehow they bring everybody like at once.
he's like, like 15,000
it was
holes
a
in
great
space,
scene because it was
and they're
like
"Ah."
everybody shows up at once. But they
What did
literally
he do? Like, go to every single one. Hey, you guys need to get ready in 15 minutes. We gotta go. There's a giant war going on. I need you. I need
Yeah,
you, everyone. Come
exactly.
on, come on.
But
15
they
minutes.
basically
That's all you got.
But they basically had already explained that he couldn't travel across space using that.
Mm.
So
Yeah. So how they did it?
Yeah, whatever, man.
I don't know.
That's what this movie was. It was epic.
It was
That's what they were going for. And the last thing I'll say about it, it was like one of the best like examples of a 3-act structure of any movie ever in existence.
What does that mean?
Like there's 3 acts. You got Act 1, all the build up, all the
okay.
exposition. You got Act 2, the plan, the time travel. Act 3, this epic freaking battle. And it's like perfectly divided up into 3 acts.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
What if they had made it like a 3-part movie? Like they did with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
The Hobbit, yeah.
Infinity
Yeah, actually, this was supposed to be 1 movie, but we decided to make it 3.
Well, they kind of did if you think about it, because then after what was the last movie before Infinity War?
Captain Marvel?
Yeah, then they had like the Infinity War, and then like underneath it had 2 dates for it. So I guess it is kind of a
Oh,
one
you're saying
giant
before
movie.
Infinity War? I don't know.
Remember how they showed the Infinity War, and then like it said.
I mean, technically it was a 2-parter, but
what was the
they
first?
felt like very different movies in a way.
Like, is it the Infinity Gauntlet, and then like Endgame was the subtitles?
It was just Infinity War.
Okay, never mind.
Avengers Infinity War and then Avengers Endgame.
Or maybe it was just Avengers 3, Infinity War, and Endgame. But
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't show the last title.
All right, we've been talking about this for... We could probably talk about it longer, but
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up.
Cool.
Spoiler alert. If you've listened to the past 30 minutes, then we ruined it for you. Cool. Well, I really liked our discussion on essentialism and the essentials in life. That was cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
Challenge yourself.
Thanks for listening.
We had this fun conversation. Now let's go back to challenge yourself.
Challenge yourself to watch the Avengers.
Challenge
there you go.
yourself to do one thing for 1 week and see if you can do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be eating regularly.
I'm gonna be drinking water.
Not
Drinking
drinking
what?
sugar.
Water.
You're going to put sugar in the water? Like,
I'm
I still drink
drinking
water,
sugar
guys. I
water.
just put 3
I've
teaspoons of sugar in.
Heard of people doing that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sugar water is a thing.
All right, well, we'll talk at you guys next week.
Godspeed and good conversations.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Young Adult's Guide to Planet Earth. We hope you enjoyed the conversation.
If you want to join the conversation, make sure to join us on Twitter at Young Adult Guide and Instagram at Young Adults Guide.
And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you want to be notified. Like, comment, and join the conversation.
Talk to you next week.